is Tarot Card Expert, and you're the expert because you're going to learn all this stuff by going to tarotcardexpert.com. And if you haven't downloaded your deck, your free deck, in case you're a little shy about going into a store going, I'm going to buy some cards here, go ahead and download it from Tarot Card Expert. Just look at the tab where, it'll say gifts and stuff like that. Just check around, you'll see it. And then just download these guys, have them laminated, or just print them up and just use them, right? Just cut them up. All right, today we're going to talk about reading for the stock market. For you guys that are day traders, whoa, I've read for you guys, and you got to learn how to do it for yourself because you're trading every 15 to 20 minutes, right? And you could do it by way of flipping a coin and say, oh, should I buy it? Should I sell now? And oh, no, okay, tails, I won't. And oh, maybe heads, yeah, maybe I should. Or you could learn the cards, and that's kind of a fun thing to do. So the thing to think about is that when you're doing readings for something as time sensitive as day trading, or even if you're doing something for anything in the future, the cards are very, very accurate at reading how you feel. So if you're hoping that a certain stock is going to go down, then you've got to be very clear about how you question or you put out the question so that the cards can give you an accurate answer. Because if you go and you say, oh, is this stock going to go down in the next half hour or an hour or whatever? And if it does go down, for some people, they would be very upset. But for you, if you were, like betting on it being short, then you're going to be really happy. So you look for the cards that make you happy. All of this is about how you feel. Now, when it comes to the timing for all of this, timing can be a little tricky, right? So you're going to have to practice enough to be able to have a sense of, this tends to work or this doesn't, but it's your relationship to the cards and your concept of what is time. For some people, time moves forward, like in the future, they see it in the future. For some people, they see a timeline that moves away this way. I have a tendency to do that. So I tend to say the future and the past like that. Okay, so if I'm doing a reading on, let's say, the past, like I'm going, well, gee, I wonder how so-and-so was feeling when I yelled at them a month ago. Well, then I can visualize being at that time. And it would be as if I'm entering that period of time, and then I'm doing the reading for that. And then I'm becoming that person if I'm doing a reading for that person. But if we're looking for, well, let's see what's going to happen in the future, near future, 20 minutes from now, half an hour from now, that kind of thing, then I'm going to be asking a different kind of question. How am I going to feel about buying this or selling this stock at this particular time? People who are more into the long-term investment, okay, that's where you start thinking, well, okay, what about 6 months from now or a year from now? Am I going to feel like I've gained something by the time I buy now, or is it better for me to buy next week? Because if I bought it next week, 1 year from next week, how am I going to feel? Or if I buy it a month from now, how will I feel 12 months after that? And so you got to think in terms of segmenting time in such a way that you say, okay, I'm going to read for here out to here. But let's go and do some experiments here. I don't tend to like to read reversals. Too complicated. And there's enough negative cards and positive cards without having to turn them around. But if you like to study them in relationship to reversals and things like that, that is a much more a more spiritual way of looking at things. But when we're talking about making money, gambling, then we want to just make it simple. Just use your 78 cards straight up the way that they are. Okay, so some people would like to go to Las Vegas, right? Because they do a yearly trip over there, and they say, oh, am I going to make any money this time? So if you're one of those, you just go and say, wow, yeah, and by the time that I leave, how am I going to do if I were to go to Las Vegas, and because it's all about gambling, right? So with the Six of Pentacles, and I'm just randomly choosing cards at this point. But when you study the lessons in Tarot Card Expert, you'll understand how all of this sequences. Pentacles has to do with finances, money, material goods, and stuff. And this is saying, well, you're going to feel like what you put in, you got out, because this is a very balanced card, right? So I would imagine that you would want to make more money, but at least you didn't lose. Okay, well, this would be the same thing for any kind of gambling, like the stock market. So if you're saying, well, okay, if I go and I invest in this particular stock, then how is it going to go 20 minutes from now, right? And then you just go and you pull out another card and you go, oh, well, Eight of Cups, this guy's walking away. He still hasn't, let's say he has lost enough and he has gained enough that he knows the game, and he goes and says, I've had enough of this one. So this may have an indication of something that has to do with, well, 20 minutes from now or half an hour from now, if I bought this, I'm not going to feel that great about it, because this is not a great feeling card. But if I go and say, well, okay, let's choose another stock, and I say, okay, half an hour from now, how am I going to feel if I bought this right now? Okay, then I go like this, and I'm going to say, whoa, half an hour from now, the sun, I'm going to feel like I'm shining. I'm doing great. And so then I would go ahead and I'd get it right now. Okay, so this is how you can be using the cards in relationship to any form of gambling. Because what's the difference, right? If you go and say, oh, but the cards didn't turn out, well, the coin may not have turned out either, and maybe you're supposed to learn something from that, like how to deal with gambling or taking chances or whatever. If you are hoping that stock, right, goes down, and you do pull up the sun, it would say, great, it did go down, and so I made money by it going down. Either way, oh, I'm hoping that it'll go up, boom, then it would go up. And so this is the same thing if you're doing long-term investments. Now, when it comes to doing readings about, well, if I bought this house, how am I going to feel about it? I'll be dealing with that when it comes to reading for a home, because there are certain things that you also want to look for. But today we're dealing with stocks. So let's say I buy, okay, what if I bought now, and then 1 year from now, how is it going to work out for me? Okay, 12 months. This is a long-term kind of investment. 1 year later, it's not really long, because long means you leave it there for a long time. But let's say 1 year later, some people sell in a year, and I just pull out any old card, and I go and say, oh, Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is go, go, go. It's moving. Everything is focused, and nothing is stopping us. So that would indicate to me that a year from now, that stock, if you bought it now, is going to then keep moving. You're going to feel very much like, yeah, I'm going to be moving with this, and it's going someplace. So I wouldn't sell at that point. But if I wanted to sell, then I would say, oh, well, then now that it seems to be moving, it's on the go, is that a good time to sell, right? Because that is, you want to sell when it's going up, not when it's going down. That's what a lot of people do. Although sometimes we want to cut our losses. But in this case, it's saying, yeah, it's going up. So that's when you start doing the day trading thinking, right? Like, okay, if I were to, let's say, 1 year from now, 12 months from the time from now, well, then if I go ahead and I just go in and see that the thing is snapping right along, I'm going to go, all right, then what if I sold on that month? Okay, how would I feel after that? Like, am I going to look back on it going, oh, shoot, I should have hung in there? So if I go in and say, okay, what if I sold on that day of, it's 1 year later? And I go, okay, now the star card is about seeing things very clearly. It's about saying, yep, I knew it. I had a feeling about it, and there it is. It came true. So whether you knew that it was going to go down or whether you knew it was going to go up, right? So because it's a major arcana. And when you study the lessons on the major arcana, you'll understand that, yeah, there are some feelings about it, but these are the lessons that you are supposed to experience. And the lesson of the star is to be at peace with knowing the truth. When I do this kind of reading and I go, yeah, okay, so I see the truth, but how do I feel about it, right? Because I want to make money. And, but it does remind me, I already know what I'm doing. So the star card has a lot to do with, yeah, I knew it. So now let's move into, then I feel good. Okay, now the Six of Wands, right? All sixes, when you study the cards, all the sixes have to do with harmony. The best cards actually in the whole minor arcana. So take the lessons on the minor arcana and you'll understand why, because you'll see it in relationship to 1 to 10. This is a card of getting along with other people, and you may have other people telling you, you know what, that was a really good move. Yeah, yeah, I listened to somebody and that person said sell now. And so it would create success. But that person could have been saying to you, hang on. And you're going to say, oh, I get it. And then you hang on, and then you have success. So listen to your friends. So this is where you want to take a look at when the star card comes, the truth comes to you, but you don't know which way. And I'm going, okay, I see the truth. Like the tornado hit and took my whole house out. And then now I see the truth. This is what I'm dealing with. But when it comes to stocks, it could mean success through the help of friends. So if I pull another card because I don't get what the star is about, and I haven't reached the year yet, I have some time. It's time for me to listen to some people that may help me to succeed. And that's what that card represents. So this is a very important kind of a way of understanding how to use the cards as like a counselor or somebody, a part of the all-seeing whatever that is out there telling you, yeah, this is the future. This is what would happen in this situation for you, according to how you think, what you want, how you perceive things. And with the star, because it's a major arcana, you need other cards to back it up to see how do I feel about that. Like some people are afraid of the tower because the tower looks like, everything has fallen apart. Or even the 10 of swords, like, oh, I'm ruined. No, it just means the issue is over. Now let's see, maybe it's the best thing that could have happened to you. But in relationship to the stocks, okay, this is how you go and you use the cards. If I were to just give you another example, okay, now remember, I don't read reversals because I'm just going, like if that Six of Wands was upside down, then I would say, oh, well, I'm supposed to be internalizing a sense of, no, when you're dealing with, because all reversals is an internalized kind of observation thing. When it comes to stocks and gambling and things like that, it's not like you're going in there and see what your karmic reason for doing this is. What you want is, am I going to make money or not, right? So that's how we're using this, right? So we're going to see the cards in relationship to how they can reflect how you feel. So if I just think of another stock, okay, I have one in my mind right now, I won't tell you. All right, and so if I bought it now, how will I feel a year from now? If I bought it and it shows that this stock is going to do really well, so read my mind. Anyway, and so it's going to be the Two of Wands. I'm committed. Yeah, right on. This is what I want to do. Right? This is a very commitment card. And when it comes to romance, you want to see that. If you want the guy to commit, right, or the girl to commit, right? If they pull that one, it says, yep, I'm committed. Well, this would be me towards that particular stock. So a year later, I probably wouldn't want to move. I'm still hanging in there with it. Maybe I should buy it. Anyway, all right. So now you have an idea as to how to use the cards in relationship to playing with stocks. And if you want to, me to cover more or to be more specific, leave a comment. Okay? I'll see you later.